Start. So my name's Anna Marie. Welcome everybody. It's so lovely to see you on a sunny but still a little bit chilly Thursday afternoon. We were just having a little chat about the weather, weren't we, Angelina? About how it still feels a little bit like February, even though it's almost May. We're almost into a bank holiday. It's really lovely to have you all here for this Forward Ladies mentoring session. I'm not going to do a great big introduction, but it's lovely to see you. I think lots of people are here for the first time for Forward Ladies mentoring session, and it's great to have you. We run these regularly. We do lots of member sessions, career coaching, business coaching, life lessons, lots of interviews with authors of inspirational books and novels. It's really great to see you. And I'll send you some more information afterwards as well. But for today, I'd really love to welcome Angelina Liparteliani, a career coach and speaker. It's great to have you here, Angelina. She's going to do us an amazing session on how to really make your CV stand out in this ever competitive world of applying for jobs, especially if you're young and new in your career. This is absolutely vital to get this very first step right. So, Angelina, I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to hand over to you.
Thank you very much.
And enjoy the session, everybody.
Yes, thank you very much for the lovely introduction. I'm here today to be talking about your CV. And by the end of the session, you will have a clear understanding on how to make sure that your CV impresses the recruiter, stands out from the competition, and just to clear up, just to clarify the CV writing process and cover that a little bit more for you. So feel free to connect with me on Instagram and TikTok. That's why I have my blogs, Angelina Career CV. There is a lot of tips. Okay, not on Instagram yet. I'm just starting out there, but TikTok is very well developed. There is a lot of advice for you, for your CV, for your job search, anything related to the job search process in the UK and Europe. So feel free to follow me on those platforms. Let's move on. Yes, I want to talk a little bit about me. And my name is Angelina. I'm a career coach and mentor. And in the past 4 years, I have helped a lot of students and professionals to write their CVs, cover letters, pass interviews, improve their LinkedIn profiles, and clarify some of the best job search strategies for them. I'm covering a wide range of industries, and I'm really proud to say that my clients work in top companies as well as in fast-growing startups. I'll move on and let's talk about the agenda today. I will be covering CV template, CV headline, is profile summary, paragraph words including on your CV, work experience section, education section, how can ChatGPT help with your CV and can it help at all? And we're also going to look at cover letter and some of the important sections in cover letter. So template and format. I confidently believe that an effective template starts with an effective CV starts with a good template. On the right-hand side, I've included for you an example of a good template and a bad template for your CV. And if your CV looks like a bad template CV, I would recommend you switch it to the black and white, simple CV, because that's how recruiters love them in the UK. Feel free to go to my website and collect a free template, but that I designed myself that proved to be effective. It's black and white. It creates it has all the sections outlined very clearly. It has a simple font and all the sections are very clear, easy to understand. You don't need to read into your CV to understand where everything is located. So it's super simple and super straightforward. I've also included here a checklist for your CV. So you can now put your CV in front of you, or just imagine how your CV looks like, and check your CV against the checklist that I'm going to tell you right now. So a good CV would have a clear template and simple layout. It only consists, it has a consistent choice of fonts, so it doesn't include a lot of different fonts. It has one font that you choose and you stick to it throughout your entire CV. So it also has a consistent sizes and spaces between the sections. It has a simple design. It has no colors. It also doesn't have any creative fonts. I've heard from some of the recruiters they even have troubles reading Times New Roman, which is really interesting. So I would really recommend to choose Calibri or Arial as a basic simple font and rewrite your CV in this font, like the entire CV in this font. Then I would also recommend to not use any pre-made templates, like the bad example that I included. Those can be found on Etsy or Canvas. I really recommend not to do that because whenever you see those templates, you clearly understand that's a pre-made template. You didn't do anything with that. You just copy-pasted your information in this pre-made template. And recruiters don't really treat your background, your skills, your experience seriously when they see those kind of templates. I would also insist you keep a clear structure on your CV. You don't include any plain text because it's really difficult to read, but bullet points throughout your CV in experience section, in skills, so everything should be in bullet points. I would also recommend you stick to short sentences throughout your CV, throughout your profile summary, for example, and not include any long sentences because they're really hard to read and process. I would also recommend you stick to one page on your CV because if you have less than 7 or 10 years of experience and your CV is more than one page, I would say that you're using your space inefficiently. You're including irrelevant details. I'm pretty sure if you have up to 7-10 years of experience, you can fit your CV on one page. And I'm not just making this up, this recommendation. I'm basing it on the fact that recruiters only looking at your CV for 7 seconds on average. So you can imagine in 7 seconds, they don't really have time to look at different pages throughout your CV. Ideally, they should just open one page and be able to see main points about yourself within this one page. And I would also recommend you keep your CV in share and apply your CV in PDF format. Because when you use Word format and recruiters open your CV from the phone, all the section can get messed up. The text can move, so it doesn't look really nice and how you initially created it. So let's keep CV in PDF format and always apply for jobs with CV in PDF format. Moving on, and I wanted to discuss headline. Headline is the name and contact details underneath your name on your CV, which should always be on top of your CV. So recruiters should not, when they need to contact you, should not be looking throughout your CV to find out where you input those details. I recommend you keep them on top. And as soon as they open your CV, they can see where your details are. I would also recommend to keep your contact details short and clear. So location, phone number, email address, LinkedIn link are enough for your contact details on top of your CV. Let's not include picture because picture is not really recommended for UK market. If recruiter wants to see your picture, they will check out you on LinkedIn, but let's not include it on your CV. It should not be on your CV. Also, I would not recommend to include any personal information such as age, your nationality, your date of birth, your family status. This is all irrelevant to your professional background and it should not be on your CV. I would also recommend you make sure to use a professional looking email address. It should ideally contain your first and second name. Trust me, I've seen so many people still using emails they've created back in their teenage years, and there are some really ridiculously framed emails. You don't want to see them. You don't want anyone to see them. Let's ensure you have a first and second name on your email only. Move on, and I wanted also to bring up the professional summary or profile summary or summary. There are a lot of names of this section on your CV. That's like a paragraph on top of your CV after your contact details, where people usually summarize their CV. And recently, I've noticed people kind of stopped including those on their CVs. Just starting from like other background sections on the CV. And I feel like that's not really the best strategy that you can choose, because recruiters expect to see a professional summary, profile summary on your CV. And again, I'm not just making this up. I'm basing this fact on the studies that was done in 2018. It's called eye tracking study. And it has some really interesting findings. So this study was about, so this company, the Ladderix, they wanted to find out and assess how recruiters process candidate CVs. So they invited a bunch of recruiters and gave them a few CVs and asked them to review CVs, how they would normally do them in their day-to-day jobs. And they used an eye tracking technology to study where recruiters' eyes stay the most throughout CVs. And there were some interesting findings based on this study. On the right-hand side, I've included a screenshot for you of where green, yellow, and red dots indicate where recruiters spend the most time while reviewing the CV. And alongside those findings, I'm telling you that recruiters are expecting to see a profile summary. And I'm saying this because recruiters not only spend 7 seconds per CV, but they are spending the most time scanning professional summary, titles, and recent experience. And because they spend the most time scanning professional summary, they expect to see a professional summary, profile summary on your CV. And they scan this professional summary, profile summary for job titles and relevant keywords, for metrics, some of the impressive achievements that you've done, company names that you worked with before tend to grab attention. And short sentences, of course, prove to be more eye-catching in comparison to the long one. So based on this study. So based on that, I came up with some of the points that I think you should exclude from your profile summary because they definitely will not work with recruiters. One of them is definitely don't tell any story, any childhood dreams. I've seen a lot of CVs where people would be saying, oh, I've been dreaming about working in this company since my early childhood. So this does not give any value to the recruiter about your professional background. This does not tell anything what professional value you can bring to this business. So let's definitely exclude things like that from your professional summary. Another thing that you should exclude is any career objectives. I want to work here, I want to work there. This does not tell any professional background about you and does not bring any value about yourself for the recruiter. So let's exclude any career objectives as well. Another thing is cliche words. They are extremely overused. They are the words like I'm passionate, I'm hardworking, I'm a team player, I'm motivated, I'm honest. There are a lot of words that are cliche, that are extremely overused. They are in every single CV. It got to the point where recruiters kind of became blind to those words because they kind of lost their meaning. So I would really recommend replace those words with some of the action verbs and some of the CV-friendly verbs and CV-friendly adjectives. So I've included a few examples for you, and they are kind of representing the achievement that you brought, a result you generated, instead of this cliche word that I mentioned. And we've talked about the things to avoid, but then what to include on your profile summary. First of all, keep your profile summary short and concise. Again, as per eye tracking study I mentioned in the beginning, recruiters don't have too much time to be finding out, to be reading into long sentences and trying to figure out what it is what you wanted to say. So let's be short and concise. I would also recommend you include the most important highlights of your CV, track record of achievements, company names or brands you worked with to attract attention, because if you worked for the competitor, for example, to a company you're applying for, and you've stated on your profile summary, it will definitely grab attention. It will definitely reinforce your profile for the recruiter. And it's also important to not forget to include the keywords from the job description you are applying for in the profile summary. And the more of those keywords you can include, the better. And when I say profiles, keywords, I mean go to like 5-6 job description where you usually apply for, scan through them and collect a few frequently mentioned keywords. For example, you are looking for the job in digital marketing, so I assume some of the keywords that will be listed throughout job description, job responsibility could be digital marketing campaigns, social media management, Google Ads. So every hard skill you can spot, every soft skill you can spot is your keyword from this job description. And the more of those you can input on your profile summary and throughout your CV, the more of those recruiter will notice and kind of will click in their head that you are a matching candidate to this job description that they have to fill. And you need to always understand that recruiter always checks your CV against the job description that they have to fill. Moving on, and another important section on your CV that I wanted to mention is work experience. So I would recommend you keep a clear format of your work experience with company name, location, dates you spent there, and your title. So as soon as recruiters look on your CV, they immediately understand where professional experience located on your CV. They immediately see company, location, dates, your title, every like main information where you worked. And underneath of each of your experiences, I would recommend you include your responsibilities, your tasks in bullet points. Definitely avoid any plain text. In order to even further elevate your CV, I would recommend to not just list what you've been doing in those tasks, but also add what you've achieved, how you helped the company grow, how you helped earn or save money to the company. You might think you've done something on a really small scale, you just done assigned task, but think about on a global level, what your team or your work within your team contributed to improving within the company. Maybe it helped to tackle a problem that everyone have been having. Maybe you came up with an idea that helped to solve the problem, to increase efficiency within the team, because even a small, tiny idea that you generated, that you brought to the company, helped the company to save time, save money, earn more money, increase sales. So think about not what you just been doing, but what you achieved in this company. Because you need to understand that companies and recruiters and hiring managers, they are looking for specialists. They've seen a lot of CVs where people were just doing tasks that they were assigned, but they're not really interested in those people who just can do tasks. They're interested in people who can bring results, bring achievements, bring value to their business, and they would really be happy to spot those in your CV. And this also will help your achievements, your values will help to differentiate you from other applicants who didn't bother including their achievements, didn't include their values they brought to the business. And in order to even make your achievements stronger, you can add numbers and percentages to indicate your achievements. Yes, you can say, I've increased sales, but you can also say, I doubled sales, I increased sales by 20%. You already see how differently this sounds and how the number makes this point stronger. And I've included an example. You can say a direct responsibility in your experience. You can say run marketing campaign, or you can add achievement, add numbers, percentages, and it already sounds stronger. You can say manage and optimize performance marketing campaigns, set targets, and define budgets which increased web traffic by 15%. And recruiter reads this and immediately understand this person cannot just able to do tasks that they've been asked to do, but they generate results, they generate achievements, they bring value to the business. And many of my clients, it's especially relevant with students, they always say, oh, I've never worked anywhere, I have no professional experience, what should I include in this section? And in almost all of the cases, it's never true, because think what you've been doing in your professional and your academic experience. Maybe you've been volunteering, maybe you've fundraised for the charity, maybe you've been part of student society within your university, where you help to promote this society, you help to run this society, you attracted more people to this society. Maybe you helped your parents at work, or maybe you've been involved with some really great, impressive uni projects which generated a lot of great results. So think about any transferable skills you generated throughout this experience, and against the job descriptions that you're applying for. I'm sure there will be correlations between those things, and you can describe those experiences in your professional experience section, because professional experience is not something you're paid for. Professional experience is something where you help to generate results, improve something, and most importantly, we're able to increase your expertise and boost your skills. So use this opportunity to uncover any achievements within your extracurricular activities, and I'm sure it will be relevant for the recruiter if you don't have any professional experience. Up next, we need to talk about education and professional courses section on your CV. So I would really recommend to, again, stick to the same format as with your experience section. Ensure your university name, location, date, your degree and program name are very clear and easy to understand. Don't list every single subject you studied. They take up space on your CV, and they are not always useful for the recruiter. I would recommend especially relevant with students. I've seen a lot of CVs where they would list every single subject they studied throughout 4 years of uni. And when recruiter sees this, they're obviously more interested in your professional experience, not so much in subject that you've studied. So I would really recommend you choose 2 or 3 the most relevant subjects to the job that you're applying for and list those in your CV. You can also include any exciting projects, any achievements that you've generated throughout your university. But again, don't be too detailed, because remember, as per eye tracking study we talked before, the focus of the recruiter is devoted to experience and profile summary section. So we don't want to include too many details in your education section. You can also include professional courses on your education section. But again, I would recommend to be as relevant as possible, because maybe if you're applying for the tech job, it's not really relevant to include that you've graduated from baking courses, for example. So let's only include things that are relevant to our professional background, professional job that we are looking to get, and not include any irrelevant information. CV, competencies section, skill section, and other section. I wanted also to talk about competence section. Look at your CV right now, or imagine how it looks like. And if you have skills written in big paragraphs, I've seen a lot of this mistake on people's CVs, where they would list a skill, a keyword, and then they would, in the big paragraph underneath, explain how they've got this skill, how they got this skill, how they're developing this skill, how they're using their skill on the daily basis. And definitely it's a low value strategy to do that, because it takes up a lot of space, and it repeats already what you've been saying in your work experience. Because if your title is digital marketing, for example, and you in skill section, you also say digital marketing, but then explain how you've been getting this skill, how you've been developing this skill, it's already visible from your work experience that you have this skill, and recruiter would assume that's where you got this skill, but that's where you've been developing your skill, and it's all will be clear by the bullet points in your experience. So instead of wasting your space on your CV with this big paragraph, I would recommend you put your skills in table format, where you would spend one keyword per one skill. For example, digital marketing, comma, social media management, comma, community management, comma, and have all your key competencies, key skills structured and no plain text involved within your competencies, your skills. And again, ensure in those skills you include skills from the job descriptions. Again, scan job descriptions and include the skills that those job descriptions require. But of course, only include skills that you in fact have. Let's not lie on your CV. Because it will not do any good for you. Let's not lie on the CV. IT skills, let's include those in the end of your CV, where you would list all the software that you've been using throughout your professional or academic experience, and your interest section. I always recommend, although not many people include interest section, I always recommend to include interest section because it could hook and recruiters' attention, especially if they also have this interest. It can also help to start to generate a topic for the small talk before while you're doing interviews with them, and it's always help to build this emotional connection, personal connection with the recruiter if they have the same interest, or if you included something interesting and recruiter got curious about. But let's not include again something not really professional. Let's not say poker. Let's not say gambling. I understand people have lots of different interests, but let's not include something that would characterize you from a negative perspective, but include something interesting, something sports related, be specific, include your favorite book, for example, your favorite movie. It's very interesting. It can help to establish a connection with the recruiter. Moving on and discuss, I wanted to also discuss with you ChatGPT and how can it help with CV, if it can help at all. If you haven't heard about ChatGPT, which I think it's impossible, ChatGPT is AI which is capable of answering questions, generated human-like text based on question and context. And how I recommend you use ChatGPT is you create your CV from the beginning to an end, where you describe your achievements, describe your responsibilities, describe every hard skill that you have. And then you can ask if you feel that vocabulary maybe is not that rich as you wanted, or maybe it's not as analytics focused or creative focused. You can ask ChatGPT to reinforce your experience with some words, and you can give them you can give to it a question asking to reinforce your point, but also provide this bullet point that you generated yourself. And I, for example, asked ChatGPT to reinforce this sentence that I put an example as an example for you earlier: managed and optimized performance marketing campaigns, set targets and defined budgets, which increased web traffic by 15%. And I already, you see, included my achievement, my result, my responsibility, and just ask ChatGPT to reinforce this point, highlighting my analytical skills. And ChatGPT gave this gave this answer to me, which I think it's good to use, but also needs paraphrasing. And I'm saying that I wanted to bring up this topic about ChatGPT initially because I've seen a lot of experts on TikTok, on YouTube. They've just recommending to write your entire CV on ChatGPT, and they would recommend to copy-paste job description, copy-paste your current CV without working on it onto ChatGPT, and ChatGPT would regenerate the entire CV for you. And I think it's a really low value strategy because of a few reasons. And for some reason, those experts don't really mention those reasons. And I think those reasons are really important to mention because, for example, ChatGPT doesn't know about your achievements and won't be able to uncover and describe them. So if you didn't mention your achievement, your experience, your big win in your CV, ChatGPT wouldn't be able to kind of make it up, wouldn't be able to guess kind of your achievement. So that's why you shouldn't be doing that. Another example is that ChatGPT has a very limited understanding of the job market. It's not aware of any CV trends and expectations in the job market. Another reason is that ChatGPT is obsessed with copy-pasting most of the time it can copy paste the entire sentences with no context. So if you give the entire job description into ChatGPT along with your CV, it can just copy paste whole sentences without paraphrasing, without changing anything, literally copy pasting the entire sentence from job description into your CV without realizing you might not have those experiences, those skills, and without the context, just for the sake of having those keywords on your CV. And imagine a recruiter opens up your CV and they see copy-pasted sentences, copy-pasted phrases from the job description. I don't think they will really like that. And last but not least, reason is ChatGPT can be identified by AI detectors. And those AI detectors are widely available for free online. They can even be installed as extension on your browser. And sooner or later, all the recruiters will have those extensions on their laptops, on their computers, and with just one click they will be able to understand how much of your CV has been written by ChatGPT, by any other artificial intelligence. And I don't think they will really like that. Another topic I wanted to talk with you is cover letter, because now people don't know what to do with the cover letter, how to write cover letter. And what's interesting is that different Google resources, even LinkedIn resources, they generate, show controversial information. So here is the CV structure, cover letter structure, that helped my clients, that proven to be effective. So some of the basics is that cover page should be one page. Font and layout should be similar to the CV. Start cover letter by introducing yourself, the vacancy that you're applying for, and the company. Let's not forget about those things. In the first paragraph of your cover letter, title this paragraph is why company name. And in this paragraph, under this title, you need to explain, this obviously requires a little bit of research. You need to explain what attracted you to this company. And the reasons behind, you kind of need to explain your motivation, why you are choosing this company, why you want to work there. So that's the question you need to be answering in this paragraph. And the reasons, I've included some of the examples of what you can choose as your reason behind your motivation to join. And those reasons can be related to various topics, and they, as I mentioned, require some research. Some of the examples, you can say how company values or culture resonate with you, match your values, your culture, you need to explain that. Or maybe some of the sustainability, diversity, inclusive initiatives that company is running, promoting, doing, really resonate with you, attract you. You need to explain why it is important for you that company is doing that and you want to work in this company because they are doing that. Or maybe company products or services really excite you. They are innovative, they are cutting edge, and you really want to be part of something that changes the world right now. So you need to explain that. Or maybe any latest news features about the company, maybe being involved with charity, and it really excites you, or doing some really important, really interesting marketing campaigns that really impressed you. So do a little bit of research, pick one topic and explain why this reason kind of attracts you to join this company. Up next, title the next paragraph, why me? And in this paragraph, you need to explain why you are the best fit for this role. In other words, what experiences and achievements you have that match the experiences, responsibilities required in the job description. So how I would recommend you do that? You can just copy paste the bullet point of the responsibility required in the job description. And next, you describe how your professional experience, your professional skills that you have, and achievements from past jobs kind of match this that you were doing in your previous job. So you need to kind of take the job description keyword and explain how you have these skills, how you can do this job and why you do this job. Even can give an example of your achievement associated with this job responsibility. And if you don't have 100% matching experiences for this job, for the vacancy requirements, think about any transferable skills. As I mentioned in the earlier today, think about any transferable skills you have from your academic or not professional work experience, and also describe them. Describe your achievement associated with these transferable skills, because there is always a solution, that there is always something that recruiter will be interested at in your background. You just need to describe that in the best way possible. And then you can just finish by closing just how you would do in an email. And you can also say that you would expect you would really appreciate the chance for the interview to impress them further, but you can just close the cover letter exactly how you would do in an email. And that brings us to the Q&A session. I will be happy to respond any questions. If you have any, feel free to connect with me via my website. There is a free template for your CV, as I mentioned. There is also a link to my LinkedIn profile. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And as I mentioned, feel free to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, Angelina Career CV. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelina. That was brilliant. That was really, really good. Some really great topics there for everybody. I can see you getting some little round of applause there from some of our attendees. Does anybody have any questions for Angelina? Feel free to unmute yourself at any point to ask them, or you can put them into the chat box. Anybody got any questions about their own CV?
For some reason, I don't see the box with the questions. It is still here on top, but it's not. Oh yes, now I got it. Yes, yeah. See it now. If people don't come up with questions right now, feel free to ask any follow-up questions to me on LinkedIn or my email. You can find it on the website if you come up with any questions later.
Could I ask a question, actually, Angelina, just while people are maybe thinking? So a couple of friends of mine are currently somewhere I used to work at. A lot of them are looking for jobs elsewhere just due to restrictions and things. And they're all sort of my age, and I know I only look 19, but I am actually in my 40s. And the question that always comes up is they feel funny including things like their GCSEs when it was such a long time ago. So at what point do you stop including, like how far back do you go in your education experience, and at what point do you just stop including it because your career experience becomes more relevant?
Okay, so in terms of your higher education, like your bachelor's degree, master's degree, MBA degree, always include them regardless of how many years of experience that you have. But in terms of your high school, your GCSEs, A levels, I would stop including them after like 7 to 10 years of experience. But even before that, as soon as you like up to like 3, 4, 5 years of experience, I would just list the program name, the degree, but not list any subjects. It's no longer relevant. I'm sure you have a lot of brilliant examples from your professional experience. You better include more details about them and not really focus on your higher education.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you. Somebody just raised their hand there, actually. Deeksha, hi Deeksha, thanks for your question. Deeksha says, can I include my part-time job experience?
Of course, I'm sure there is a lot of achievements. There is a lot of like bullet points, interesting big wins related to your part-time job. Definitely include your part-time job on your CV. However, if you have a lot of professional experience related to the job, I would recommend to just maybe list the title, not really include too many details about your part-time job if you have a lot of professional experiences, in order to kind of save space, and not if it's maybe like a retail or hospitality experience on top of like your professional experience. Let's not, you can include it, but let's not include too many details about them.
Thank you. Can you see the chat box, Angelina, there, or do you want me to read them?
Yeah. I can see. Not a question for Angelina, but please, can the recording be circulated to us after the meeting? I think it's a question for you.
Yes, I will. I will absolutely do that. We'll just do some tiny little bits of editing to take the beginning and the ending off there, just so you can't see me clicking around. But yes, we'll absolutely share that with everybody. No problem at all.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Is there a copy of your notes on your website? Also, do you think this would be a universal CV format for the US as well? Yes, this would definitely work for the US. Not all countries in Europe, though. Some, Germany, for example, they want picture, but then still, for no other country, I would recommend a creative pre-made CV template. In terms of the notes, I'm afraid the notes won't be available, but the recording will be available. And on my TikTok, there is a lot of tips on the CV, writing on cover letter, on interviews, everything that what we touched today, what we didn't. So feel free to check it out.
That's really interesting how the culture of CVs differs from country to country. And Germany in particular wants a photograph, but nobody else wants to know what you look like, which is great, I think, because it means there's no, I can't think of the word now, you don't get a judgment of somebody. You're just going off their professional experience and off the CV. It really equalizes it for everybody, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm really advocating for, it to not include any pictures. Just your background should be speaking. Funny fact, I've done a video on TikTok for saying why you should not include picture on your CV, and many people in comments told me that, oh, I look pretty, I will include my picture. And I was just, so many people, maybe like 5-7 people said that in comments, that I look pretty and that's why I will include my picture. And I was just thinking, why would you want to work somewhere where you are appreciated for your looks rather than your background? For me, I feel like that's what your background, your skills should be talking for yourself, not how you look.
Yeah. Photos are for dating apps, not really for CV.
Yeah. I have no experience. I have no work experience. I am a fresher. Well, consider doing internships then that will help you to generate an experience. Definitely not focus on big companies, because it will be trickier to get into internship for the big company due to massive competition, especially if you have no experience. Focus on startups, focus on smaller companies. They love people even with no experience. But again, think about the extracurricular skills that you've been generated outside of your work, outside of your university. As I mentioned before, maybe you've done volunteering work. Think about those skills and include them on your experience section, because they will be valued by the recruiters in small companies. And good luck to you. I understand it's really hard to getting started with experience, with CV, everything. What if you do not meet all the criteria on the job description and you wish to go for a promotion? How would you pitch your CV? I'm not really getting this question. Why would you pitch your CV?
I'm wondering if all that means if you're going for promotion internally, if you don't quite have everything that they're looking for. Am I picking that up right, Ola? If you don't have everything they're looking for, you go for it. Yeah.
Well, I think you're right. Well, I don't think you need to always apply for jobs only if you match 100% of requirements. I would apply even if I match like 50% of requirements, half of the requirements. But then in your cover letter, I would explain how you can do this job, what experiences, what achievements you've got in your background that will help you to do this job, to be experienced enough for this job. So that's how you can use your cover letter to bring up this gap, to bridge this gap between this job that you want to apply for and your lack of experience. So focus on your cover letter and describe those things that you've done in the past and your previous experience that will help you to get this job.
Thank you.
I think with Forward Ladies as well, I know there's a couple of guys here on the call, and obviously you're very welcome. But we support and we coach business women in business here at Forward Ladies. And I do remember reading something about if guys will look at a job description, go, yeah, I can do that, that, and that, but not 7 of the 10 things. Yeah, but I can probably do the other. So they will apply, whereas women will go, oh, I only meet 9, not 10, so I don't think I'll bother. So it's having the confidence, isn't it, to just go give it a whirl, because who knows what will happen.
Yeah, definitely apply. You are not missing out on anything if you apply, but you are missing out if you're not applying, kind of. So definitely let's apply for everything, even if it's like you don't feel 100%.
But there was one up there that we just skipped over, actually, is from Jessica. Is the 1-page CV standard? Even if your work experience is a lot and demands that it goes beyond 1 page, would you still limit it to a 1-page CV?
If you have less than 7 years of experience, even 10 years of experience, I would recommend you definitely can fit your CV within 1 page. It's not just, you can do however many pages you want. Is that you need to understand that on average, recruiter has about 7 seconds to check your CV. So how many seconds do you think they will spend on checking different pages, trying to figure out where what section is? It's always great when your CV is on 1 page and all the information that they need, that they're interested at, is on this 1 page, and they don't need to look around on different pages. So yeah, I would really recommend sticking to 1 page.
When you say 1 page, do you mean one side of A4 or
yes,
a double?
One side.
No, one side. Okay,
one side, yeah.
Thank you. There's one just come in there. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name, the person that's asked. Most of the times the system reject applications once one does not have experience of the stated requirements. I suppose it's a question on using technology, isn't it, to screen CVs? How would you advise going around that?
Well, I've mentioned in your experience, even if you don't have like if you even don't have any required experience, there are some keywords from your background. You can include that are matching the keywords in the job description. I'm not saying you should be applying for jobs that are completely irrelevant to you, that you have no connection, no background, no qualification in doing. That you will never get those jobs. Hear me right. I'm saying that if you're not matching like maybe 20% of the job description keywords, job description requirements, still apply for those, because recruiters may not like really pay attention if you can do other things right. If you can do other things instead, maybe they can be really flexible around those required job description keywords. And if they like you, if they like your background, they will still go forward with you, even though you don't have 100% of the required experiences.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. You'll miss 100% of the chances you don't take, won't you? So you just give it a try, I think, as you said before.
Yeah.
Carisha says here, what usually leads to CVs being rejected by AI systems that companies use?
So one of the most frequent reasons, I would say, is the bad, poorly formatted template that's using fonts that are hard to read, template that has a table structure, for example, when there is one column and another column next to it. ATS systems, like those automatic systems, are not programmed to read the keywords on those templates. For these reasons, I mentioned, go to angelinacareer.com. It's my website. I designed there a template. It's proven to be effective. It's free. You can get it there, and you can just input your information from your CV to this template, and I guarantee the ITS system will be able to read those. Yeah. So poor format is, I think, the most frequently noticed reason for the CVs to be rejected.
Thank you. You were saying as well, you do as well as the this CV workshops, you also do interview prep, sort of career coaching as well, Angelina.
Oh yeah, I do a lot. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah,
I do lots of different things related to helping people finding jobs. So I can review your CV. I can teach you how to write CV. I can write a CV for you. I can prepare you for the interview. I can do mock interviews with you. So lots of different things. Tell me what you're struggling with, reach me out, and we can find a solution to that.
great, thank you. It's been lovely. We're a little bit early, but unless anybody else has got any questions, I think we'll wrap it up there. I just wanted to say, if you're going to go to Angelina's website and get her free template for your CV, why not spend an hour working on it tomorrow? Here at Forward Ladies, we have our Power Hour. Every day we meet for an hour, Mondays and Fridays at 12 and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9. And you can dial in and we just commit to do an hour's focused working in silence. We state what we're going to do. We set some smart objectives. So tomorrow you can dial in and say, I'm going to start working on my CV because I came to the workshop on Thursday. We can work together and then we check back in a couple of minutes before the hour is up and make sure that we did what we committed to do. There's quite a few. We have regulars there. We have people that just drop in and out whenever they feel like. It's a really great way to stay focused and get some work done together. I'll send the link to that out this afternoon when I send the recording for this as well, and a little survey for you to fill in if you don't mind. Just some little feedback for us. It's been really, really lovely to meet everybody today. I know lots of people won't have been to a Forward Lady session before, but if you go to our website, we do lots of things. We do author interviews, we do business coaching, mentoring, and we also have our awards. If you think you deserve recognition for something that you're doing in your company, or you own your own business, you're an entrepreneur, or you think that somebody else is deserving of some recognition, please nominate them for one of our awards. We've got 13 categories, so something for everybody. And it's been so great to see you. Thank you so much, Angelina. It's been so useful. I hope everybody's got something great out of it. It's been lovely to meet you.
It was nice meeting you and speaking with you. Thank you very much for organizing, inviting, organizing and auditing the whole process, monitoring comments, everything. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And again, thank you. We're getting lots and lots of lovely comments in the chat box there, Angelina. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll be in touch soon. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.